A quick high-level overview of the latest trends in senior living from Savills Research. I'm Eri Mitsostergiou. I'm doing European research in Savills. We'll talk about the latest trends in investment, some hotspots, what drives these trends. Senior living investment has been rising over the past few years. This year is expected to be a record high, mainly driven by two mega deals in the UK. It's a bit of a volatile kind of activity because it's driven by different types of deals in the market, which some years are available, some years are not. So this year, for example, the two big UK deals are forward funding deals. There are not as many standing investments in the market. So the biggest share still is driven by M&A activity and development activity. The activity from cross-border investors is still relatively limited compared to other asset classes. It's a very specialized type of product, so you probably need to be quite familiar with the local market or to be a neighboring market that you've been active and you understand. So most cross-border investors are from Europe, but we do expect in the future to see more from overseas as well. You see that senior housing, this little top, very fine share of the total investment into residential, still the bulk of investment into residential is multifamily, followed by student housing, and then the top part is for older people, but the yellow is with healthcare facilities as well. So the senior housing still has a lot of potential to grow, especially given the demographics of Europe, which I'm going to talk in a little while. Investing in senior housing offers diversification, it's a bit counter-cyclical, it's driven by demographic trends, so it's a very interesting alternative to step in. It offers a long-term strategy, long-term income streams. It's easy to convert in the future if necessary. And it offers also better returns than most other residential asset classes. The yields are still slightly higher, I mean between 3.5% to 5%, whilst of course offices, you struggle to find anything above 4 in Europe these days, and multifamilies also has become quite expensive, more comparable to student housing, although in some more mature markets in student housing have become already quite expensive too. It's also related to the availability of mature products that offer an income. In this segment, we don't have it yet as much. We did a study trying to identify which countries in Europe will offer the greatest potential for the development of senior housing. We took 17 metrics. We looked at the demographics, how big, how large is the senior population, how fast it will grow in each market. We looked at how wealthy the senior population is, how much is their pension, if they owe money, if they have mortgages, if they have good disposable income. We looked at the housing markets, how is the supply, how is the liquidity from an investor perspective, and then we took all these for 23 countries, and we found that Germany, France, UK are the top 3 countries with the greatest potential. There are countries which have fast growing aging population. Germany, people are big savers, so they have good saving, which offers them disposable income for the future. France as well, the wealth of the aging population is quite key. And then the UK is the demographics of the UK are favorable, but it's also quite a mature market, housing market overall. But it depends on your strategy as well. So you see the top countries on the right with the best demographic fundamentals, and then on the left you see how wealthy these are. So you see Luxembourg or Austria or Norway, Netherlands, Sweden, Denmark. These are countries where on the demographic score may be a bit lower because they're smaller countries, I would say the main reason. But they have the senior population is quite wealthy. So it offers different opportunities maybe for more high-end product. And finally, just quickly to see who is the customer and what do they expect. A survey from Ipsos tells us that overall elderly people are quite happy. They feel quite useful. The generation of baby boomers, the people close to retirement or within retirement, is one of the most affluent population of this age group. This obviously drops as they become less autonomous, but this age group that we are looking at for our product is in a quite good state, psychologically at least. They want to have fun, they want to enjoy their life, but they also plan for their future. They are thinking about their future. They're thinking, if they need to save money in order to make some, in order to, I don't know, pay for healthcare or pay for a different housing needs in their future. They like their home, but they realize that their home may not be suitable for them in a few years. They don't do anything to prepare for that. They would rather stay there. They would rather stay in their neighborhood. But if you see on the right, the second best option for them, if they can't stay where they are, is to go into a specialized senior living accommodation. So it's a sector with strong potential. European countries are aging, so the demographic trends are very much show the need for this kind of product in the future. It's Germany, France, and the UK, the biggest markets, will have the biggest need for this kind of product. As I said, smaller markets but with high affluence can offer also opportunity. But always, it's a very specialized sector. We need to think about what the elderly people want, what they want in the country we are in, because there are several cultural differences, who is going to be our operator, and also think about the future, about the affordability of people. Pretty complex stuff to go through in 5 minutes, but...
That was great.